how do we even start this? I feel like you need to introduce yourself.
I mean, I think this would be pretty good for an intro, just us being pretty casual about it. I don't know. My name's Brandon. I'm a freshman, or I'm gonna be a sophomore this fall. Because I guess I went to school for a year, even though it was really kind of more like 8 months. But that aside, I'm a pre-neuroscience and cognitive science major. So basically, it's just a major where you have to test in. For my program, it's at the end of my sophomore year, so that'll be this coming spring or this like spring 2021. Um, I am involved in campus in research, a couple clubs, neuroscience specific. Um, yeah, outside of school, I work with a leadership organization. Nothing too big. I'm a music minor. Christian makes fun of me for that. Thought I was pre-med, but remembered I didn't want to hate myself for 8 years. So now I'm wanting to go into research.
Nice. That was good. You went in depth with
Yeah.
that. So what have you been doing to keep busy?
What have I? Not a whole lot.
No. I mean,
no,
you like to send me funny tweets. I appreciate
I
that.
do send you a lot of funny tweets. That's true. And I mean, we send each other a lot of serious tweets too, especially now. But before that, it was strictly funny tweets. But yeah, I mean, aside from things going on right now, I've been doing work. I work for a research lab on campus. I'm lucky enough I can work remote still. So whether that be like looking at data, to having me learn how to code, doing like trainings and stuff. So
Oh, are they sponsoring that for you?
well, they are. I mean, they aren't not. So yeah,
Like
it's
what are
something
you
I'm
using
allowed to do. Sorry.
what are you using to learn?
So basically, there's this the language, or it's not really. I guess it's the language. I'm not that far into computer science yet, so please excuse me. But basically, using this software called R Studio, and so R is basically this like open source. So like it's this free statistical coding software. Basically, you can do a whole lot with it, and people build different packages and libraries that you can install that give it like extra functions and stuff. And so one of these additional packages is called Swirl. And so basically it's just it's like a guided tour of R. It takes you through all the basic functions. And then there are add-ons that people have made to Swirl that take you through the other add-ons, which, if that makes sense. So like there's one called like ggplot, which is just like a better way to make histograms and like bar charts and stuff. It's not exciting, but like it's cool. I'm gonna open my window. Maybe that helps.
Go for it.
But yeah, so it's a good time. It keeps me busy. I kind of like messing with stuff, so it's like a good like problem solving like kind of thing. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, are you still doing research on like sleep and PTSD, or did you move on to something else?
So we're wrapping up the project on PTSD pretty soon. Right now, and then yeah, I'll be transitioning to another one having to do with sleep, but it's we're looking at treatments for insomnia. Um, so yeah, kind of we're wrapping one up, and then we're gonna start another one as soon as like the pandemic's over. So whenever that may be.
Are you allowed to like go in depth and explain it a little bit?
I can tell you like main purpose, but I can't tell you data, and I can't tell you people.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, okay. So basically the project I'm working on right now has to do with PTSD and light therapy. And so basically, as I'm sure you've heard before, like sleep is really important and it affects a lot of your cognitive health. Um, and so basically what we're doing is using a blue light box or an amber light box, which is the control. But so blue light, I'm sure you've heard it before. It's like this harmful thing that comes out of your phones and your screens and like keeps you up at night. Well, blue light is also something that's just like outside. It's like what tells our brain, like, hey, it's daytime, like it's time to wake up. So basically, what we found is that if you can use that blue light right at the beginning of the day to like kickstart your circadian rhythm, and so it like readjust. It's like a it's like how a pacemaker kind of like can signal your heart to like this is when you beat. Do it this way. It can kind of like jumpstart your circadian rhythm. And so then when you try and go to bed the next night, like you're on the right cycle, if that makes sense. So
Mhm.
yeah, we found that it's had positive impact so far, but we're not done with like we haven't made our final conclusions, haven't done our full data analyses yet, but it's promising right now. So yeah.
That's cool. Like, how does PTSD factor into the study?
So we are a primarily a military research lab. So a lot of our funding comes from like the Department of Defense and stuff like that. So a lot of our projects have to do with ways to either treat soldiers that have come home or soldiers that are still out in the battlefield or like abroad, stationed somewhere. And so a lot of people with PTSD report trouble sleeping just because they have nightmares. There's different triggers that can uh, cause them to have episodic events, and so because of that, there's a lot of issues that they have when trying to go to bed.
Mhm.
And so if we can help restart or kickstart kind of their circadian rhythm, help them get into a healthy sleep wake cycle, then you can see like with that improved sleep, there's also improvement in their kind of like their emotional well-being, their cognition, stuff like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a good
I'm
time.
surprised as like freshmen we can be like involved in something like that. I feel
Hashtag
like,
hashtag U of A research one
yeah,
institution.
for real. Like, how did you like come across it?
My
The
this
internship.
feels like such an ad for research right now, but yeah, basically, hypothetically, there's too many inside jokes. Oh my gosh. Okay, but my my advisor, my neuroscience advisor, sent me an email one day. He was like, "Hey," and it was like it wasn't even an email to me. It was like it was a general. It's called like listserv, like it's like an email list. Um, and so it's just kind of like a mass email that goes out. It's like, "Hey, like this lab is looking for undergraduate research assistants. Um, fill out the application." So basically, I filled out the application, and this was before school started. So it was like
Oh
beginning of
wow.
August. Yeah. So I filled out the application, and then I got told I got an interview, and then like during the first week of school, I ditched a class that I didn't even really want to be in because it was stupid gen ed. And I was like, you know what? Like I went to the first session and the teacher was like, "You will not have phones in this class." And I was like, "Am I in high school still?" I was like, "Where am I?" And so I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is not gonna work. Like I'm not gonna want to work in this class." So yeah, so ditched that class, went to an interview, uh, talked about sports for like half an hour. And then the guy who's my boss now, he was like, "All right, like, what study do you want to be on?" And he was like, "You could work with like concussions and things like that. But there's also this one on PTSD where you'll have to talk to people about like, the worst moments in their lives." I was like, "Oh, like that's kind of
Yeah,
terrifying."
that's intimidating.
Yeah, it's pretty intimidating. But I was like, you know what? Like, let's try something new. I think mental health is something that's really important. It's often overlooked, and it's not talked about. So I think it's really important to like have those conversations and to. I think for me, it was like something really beneficial, like to be able to talk to those people. Like, and I learned so much, just like talking on the phone with people and doing interviews. And like, of course, I'll never or I mean, hopefully, I'll never understand what it's like to have PTSD. But for me, it opened my eyes to a lot of what they go through, and definitely made me a lot more sensitive to a bunch of issues at hand. So, Like I think that the thing that was most eye opening for me was like I would talk on the phone with someone, and like there's so many preconceived notions about people with mental disorders, but I would ask if a said person
Mhm.
had had like any other mental disorders, and said person would be like, oh yeah, like I have schizophrenia, and I'd be like, what?
Mhm.
Like you can't tell like just from talking to people. So it's just like it's such a layered and like it's like a deep thing that I think society looks to be is like it looks like this, it looks like this, where kind of this experience has taught me so much about how uh yeah, it's not what we think it is, and yeah, shouldn't be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, like when even like with schizophrenia, like you mentioned, like you expect someone who's like all over the place and like
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
cartoony because that's how we see it.
No, oh
And then
exactly,
it's just
because
like a normal
that's
person
what
on
we
the
see.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like that's what we see, and that's what we're taught to believe. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And so what's this new research study you're on?
Yeah, so it's gonna sound a little weird at first, but
Okay.
basically we're using magnets to control people's minds. um, no, so I mean that is to be fair, like,
Hold up,
but,
I'm gonna call InfoWars real quick.
yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, but like, so it's called transcranial magnetic stimulation, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We're magnetically stimulating someone's brain. And so
Ooh.
basically, yeah. And so basically, it's there's a whole bunch of different protocols and a whole bunch of different machines. But I think a really good way um, to just kind of like simplify it is like you have a person laying in a bed, um, and then you have a magnet, and not just like like zingers, but it's like a pretty high powered magnet that's like hooked up to like a power supply and everything, and electricity running through a coil and stuff. I have obviously not taken um, physics E&M yet, but oh well, I know the right hand rule, so I think I'm good. Um, but yeah, so basically what happens is we pulse a magnetic field, and then that magnetic field can depolarize certain portions of your brain. And kind of in the same way, earlier we mentioned pacemakers. It can. They found that when people are asleep, they can use this method in order to elicit um, slow wave oscillations, which are just like sleep waves that are associated with stage 3 and 4 sleep. So that's like deep sleep, and that's like basically in the different stages of sleep, your brain is acting differently. So in stages 3 and 4, which are like deep sleep, they call it, your brain is basically acting. When you look at it on like it's called an electroencephalograph or an EEG. It's like these big waves, like kind of like going, and so they can elicit those by pulsing TMS, like pulsing these magnetic fields. It's pretty cool. But then, so since that protocol's come out, there's been other protocols that can do things like cause your brain to be more active, or cause your brain to be like more chill. And so basically, and I know this goes on, but there's a lot of like background and stuff. But yeah, so we're looking at using this to treat people with insomnia who have trouble falling asleep. And so in the past, um, they've done kind of like behavioral therapy to help people fall asleep, but that doesn't always work. And I don't know exactly what that looks like because I've never done anything with behavioral therapy. But that's kind of usually the first step. And then after that, if that doesn't work, they'll give people benzodiazepines, which are things like Xanax. Um, and so those have a lot of other side effects. They can become addictive. People build a tolerance to them. And so
Mhm.
just because of that, there's a lot of other issues surrounding that. So they're trying to elicit kind of the same effect with TMS that they can with those drugs.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so we're really into the whole like uh, finding alternative treatments for things. non-pharmaco like therapy. Yeah.
Right. So so like back to like the magnets, the like I guess electromagnetic pulse, is it?
Yeah.
Like you can bring people into like deep sleep, like stage 3, 4 sleep?
So from the research that I've seen, and this is good. I have a presentation on this tomorrow, so this is
Oh,
perfect.
cool.
Yeah. Basically, they can't elicit anything when the person is awake. Like you can't just like zap someone to sleep.
Right, right.
I mean, that would be cool, but you can't. I would sign up for that. But yeah, I would sign
I
up
think
for
that's
that.
just called a regular like campus lecture.
Dude, okay, facts. Sitting in gen ed psych when they're like, this is the brain. Like, dude. No, I love gen ed psych though. Yeah, take gen ed psych. Very easy class. Fantastic. Um, Professor Laz. I had it first semester. Yeah.
Was he the best professor?
Oh, he's so chill. He was like okay, so had a crisis at the end of the semester and forgot to turn in basically we had like online homeworks and quizzes and I did them. I just forgot to click submit. And so I had taken my chemistry final, but the grade book for my psychology class is still open. So I finished my chemistry final, raced out right when I finished, went to his office because he had it posted on his syllabus. That's his fault. And went to his office. I didn't even know if he was going to be there. Waited outside his door because he wasn't. Um, and he showed up and he was like, "Hey, what's up? Like, how's it going?" And I was like, "Hey, so like, I'm an idiot. I like forgot to click submit." He's like, "Okay, it's fine. I'll just give you 100 on them." I was like, "What?" So great class, great professor, really engaging, really cares about the kids. Understands that we're irresponsible freshmen and don't know I don't know how to function in society yet. So
That's so nice. Like there's just been so many
yeah,
professors that like I don't know why they just seem like they hate us. They don't want to have much to do with us. But like
they
it's so bothersome to just send them an email like chill, bro.
yeah.
Like
There's like, and I mean, I think it's like there are just a few. I think for the majority, like at least in my experience, I know other people have had other experiences, but in my experience, like the professors that I've had, I've definitely talked to other classmen, to upperclassmen, sorry, about like what professors I should take. And like that's a tip. Like do that. Talk to
that's good.
upperclassmen. Oh my gosh. But like, yeah. So I've had pretty good experiences with my professors, but I know there definitely are some that are, and it reminds me of in high school, those professors or those teachers that are like, in college they won't let you turn in things late, and in college like there are
You
no
lied to me.
yeah, it's like that. Like I literally turned in 3 quizzes like 4 days late, and I got 100s on them. Like yeah,
It's like
fun.
that meme where it's like
They do that for gen eds though.
it's like the meme I sent you on Twitter where it's like they said that like crouching over is actually better for your breathing than like standing up like this.
Oh yeah, with your PE teachers, yeah, your PE
Yeah,
teachers are like stand up, go like this, yeah, that killed me.
liars.
Oh my god, I remember running the mile, and like I have asthma, and like
Hmm.
for some reason, like our school district didn't allow us to like carry our inhalers, like they had to be kept in the nurse's office. But like I definitely wasn't gonna be that kid that was like, "Hey coach, like can I go to the nurse's office and hit my inhaler?" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, go hit my albuterol, but take a hit. But yeah, so I would run the mile and I'd just like wheeze the whole time. But yeah, yeah. And then he'd be like, put your hands on your head. It'll help you breathe better. I'm like, coach, like, shut up.
Terrible.
It is terrible. And then he would yell at us because we couldn't do pull-ups, but whatever.
Yeah. Did you guys have like the um like fitness test like in the
This is
beginning of the
the
year and
fitness
at the
gram
end?
pacer test.
Well, not that. I didn't have that in high school. I had
You
that in
didn't have the
like
fitness gram pacer,
middle
bro.
school.
This is the fitness gram pacer test. I mean,
Actually, I didn't even do that in middle school. I just did that in elementary school.
oh really? I think
Yeah.
we did that. I mean, I mean, I'll be completely. I don't think I've ever told you this. I will be completely honest. In high school, I did online bowling because I didn't want to do PE in person. Yeah,
Online bowling?
district. So our district had online classes. So basically, you could be in the public school district, but like not go to school and just like sign up for all your classes online. Yeah. And so
Really?
yeah, and so I did online bowling over the summer because I could never fit because like I was taking like some extra science classes and like I was already doing A hour and like I did band in high school and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. So I couldn't fit PE in my schedule or else I would have teachers who I had all 4 years like come and hunt me down basically. Um and so yeah, I did online bowling over the summer. The
That's crazy.
teacher
How
was
does that work? Well, first of all, I didn't even know that like online high school classes existed. But like
yeah, private school kid, get out of here.
well, yeah, like that's not even like everyone
Wait,
had
don't
the
talk about
same
high
classes. We didn't even have like electives or anything. Like everyone had the same schedule. But like,
Oh yeah,
okay, not
no, yeah,
only
kind of like
did
this.
I not know that online classes existed for high school, but like online bowling, like
Yeah, man. So
how does that work?
so basically, you have to like sign on like every day. I think over the summer, and so you sign on. You read about like the history of bowling. You like learn about. I have no clue. Like the pins were like weapons that people used to defend themselves. I have no clue, bro. And like literally, and like how it like adapted over time, and like important historical bowling events and stuff like that. Yeah, nah. And so then basically you would go and you would bowl, and then you'd have them print out your score sheets, and then you'd like scan them in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
Do you have
you'd have to do like reflections and stuff. Yeah,
bowling reflection?
yeah.
Do you have a cool bowling fact for me?
A cool bowling fact for you, bro. Last time I took this class was like I think it was the summer before my senior year, so it was like 2 years ago.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I mean, and this probably could not be true, but I remember learning about how like in like the Middle Ages, basically in Germany, like the pins were are modeled after like things that like peasants would use to like to defend themselves. I have no clue. It was like,
really?
yeah, it was like some weird like that. I'm like, I'm sorry if I'm offending the bowling crowd out there, the bowling historians, but yes, it's not something that I've kept up to times with. So
Yeah, we had a pretty swell bowling team at my high school.
you were
Uh,
on the bowling team, weren't you?
I was not, but I
Really?
did I did read their announcements. I was
Wait,
like I was a news anchor in the morning, so I would read the announcements of like the results of all the sporting events that happened like the day before or over the weekend.
very nice. I
And
did that in
so
elementary school. Did you have a broadcast name? Did you have a broadcast name?
a broadcast name?
You have a name, Christian?
No,
Or
we
we
actually we
um,
we we never said our names. I don't think.
interesting. So in fifth and sixth grade, I did I went to a school called Zaharis Elementary. It's like right down the street from my house.
Hmm.
Um, and our news channel was called ZBC. It's like
ZBC.
yeah, Zaharis Broadcast Channel. And every day we would start with ZBC. It's the place to be. Okay. Yeah, great times. I still have a video on my computer of me being on the local news. I don't know why I still have it, but I think
Oh,
my mom would kill me if I deleted it.
you're gonna
So
have to send me that.
no, you're like it'll be linked below, like in the description.
Link in the description.
Link in the description. We
Light
haven't
up the
said hit the like
comments.
button. Yeah, hit the like and subscribe button. Nah, but basically, I did the sports, and I was basketball Brandon. So that was my peak. People are talking about peaking in high school. I peaked in elementary school. So
B-Bowl Brandon.
yeah, basketball Brandon. Hey, I didn't even play. Well, at the time, I think I played sports. Yeah, I think fifth grade I did lacrosse.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like one of the 4 kids in Arizona who played lacrosse. So
Is lacrosse like
it's not
big at
big.
all?
No, I
And
mean, yeah, because it's like I mean, from what I remember being told when I was like 10 it was growing. So maybe it's huge now. But I don't think it is. I mean, like Arizona doesn't even have a team. Like U of A doesn't even have
Oh, we
lacrosse.
don't? I thought we
No,
did.
it's intramural. Like it's like I don't know what
Uh,
it's called. It's not intramural, but it's like the step above that.
Club?
Yeah, it's like it's club. It's club lacrosse.
No, remember when we went to the I think it was called the Bash at the Rec where they have all the like clubs and sports and stuff.
Yeah,
And we saw a club frisbee and they had us like jump to grab the frisbee.
I do remember that, and everyone wanted you to go because you're 6'7".
Yeah.
That's the thing with Zoom. People don't know how tall you are over Zoom.
That's true.
But like the average height of our dorm room was over 6 foot. Like,
That was so
dang.
great.
But in our side, it was like 4 inches higher than the other side
Yeah.
because it was short.
Next year the average height's gonna be so much lower because you're
Yeah, 'cause
leaving me.
you're with Ryan and
Zach.
yeah,
And
Schlomovitz.
so like another kid joined our rooming
Who's the
group.
kid? You know him? I was gonna ask
I
you about that.
don't. I messaged him over the
Yeah,
housing portal
and he
like
hasn't come back to you,
weeks ago,
bro.
and he's never gotten back to me.
If he's the slob, bro, there's another room in my house. Like, I won't charge you anything. Get
I'm
me
like,
food. Get
I'm
me
like,
get me milk in 85 North or whatever. I milk. That'll be your day. Oh my god,
yeah, like I'm kind of nervous because like
dude, I
I
would
don't
be.
know anything about him, and like I had such a good experience with like you last semester and Jacob and Matt because like we kind of got to
Yeah.
know each
Oh,
other
okay. Jacob and
beforehand.
Matt. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it didn't.
For most of the year, we had a good experience.
Let's just say the beginning of the year, right? It was a
It's fine.
smooth
No, yeah.
transition in the beginning of the year. We don't have to talk about that yet. But
Hey, never forget tea time with Itai.
oh, that was great.
Itai
Yeah,
the
Itai was such a good RA too.
no, he
But
was.
at the same time,
I
like
commented on his Insta post. I was like, I miss tea time, missing tea time with Itai.
yeah,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure it'll work out. Like, I mean,
Nah,
I like talking to people, so I'm sure like I'll be friends with him or
you'll be
whatever.
fine. You'll make friends with all the freshmen.
Yeah.
all
It
the
is though. In
all
high
the
school, I was better friends with the kids who were younger than me than the kids in
really
my
so
grade and above.
okay, so I was always better friends with the kids who were older than me. Like one of my closer friends is like going into med school next year. Like I don't know, like yeah. And so like and I think that's just because I have an older sister. So I would always just try and be friends with her friends. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go I feel like you can't see my face. And I know you want to see my face.
Yeah, you're disappearing in the shadows.
No, I know. Let there be light.
Do you have
And
a lot?
then the Lord said,
And then Brandon said, "Let there be light,"
don't
and there
equate me to
was.
the Lord. And there was. And there was.
Do you have a lot of like uh older friends in college too?
Um, I mean, I guess like in clubs, yeah. Like I feel like I would always talk to like the like sophomores, juniors, because the seniors are too cool to talk to freshmen, but like whatever. So I'd talk to yeah like sophomores, juniors probably mostly. But like most of the clubs, I feel like right at the beginning it's like all freshmen, and then it like kind of like whittles down to the kids who've been in it, like who've been in the clubs for a bit. So I think at first it was like I've never spoken to someone who's older than me, and then it was like, oh, most of my friends seem to be
Hmm.
older than me. So I think it's changed, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot different in like high school, in my opinion, because like now it's like you don't even know like who's older than you or like who's like ahead
That's
of you.
true.
It's kind of
That's
just
true.
like everyone blends in for the most part.
If we were short, I think we would look like touring high schoolers. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's true. But like, yeah, like I even have like in high school, I never had classes with anyone like older than me because it was
Oh,
like
really?
private school. It was rigid. But like now it's like I don't even
Gotcha.
realize I'm taking classes with seniors. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I guess, yeah, in my gen eds, it'll be like, yeah, there's a couple seniors because it was like a 300 gen ed, which means absolutely nothing.
No flex or anything. It's
But
just a
no
300.
flex, but I got upper division credits for doing nothing. Not to flex.
What class is that?
That was the feminist philosophy class.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, like, after quarantine, like, it actually wasn't bad. Like, he, like, recorded everything and summarized everything really well. But like I was in this group chat and these kids were like, bro, I haven't done anything. Like I'm gonna fail feminist philosophy. And I was like, you're like, I just want you to think about that. Like
Not
you're
woke.
failing, you're failing feminist philosophy. Yeah, I was like, I got a 100 on my final paper, like not to flex, but I think that means that we're gonna stick it to the man. Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Medical school, like you have to like for undergraduate major in like a science kind of major, right? It's not like law school
No,
where you could just major in
no.
whatever. Oh, you
So
don't?
no, so you can major in whatever you want, but you have to hit their requirements. So if you do major in English, like we mentioned, the people we don't understand, or people, philosophy,
Who would do
politics,
that? That sounds so
economics,
boring.
no, yeah, who would do that? Christian Barniak. Um, anyways, you can do that, but you also just have to make sure you're taking like uh, the right biology, chemistry, physio, English, math courses to take
Gotcha.
your MCAT, but also like for your application to be even be considered. So yeah,
Yeah. And so you're balancing that with your music minor?
yeah.
Band kids.
I think it's fun. So thank
Yeah.
you.
What's that like?
um, honestly, it's a lot of just like you know, I have a really good relationship with my professor. She's really cool. Um, but I also made it very clear to her that like, hey, this is my minor, and like I'm doing this because I like it, and like I'm still gonna work hard and like put in all the work, but like at the end of the day, like this won't necessarily be my number one thing that I'm looking to do and think about all the time.
Hmm.
Like I'll practice when I can, but like also I'm taking 20 units of science and like I need to be able to like do well in those courses, work in a lab if I want to set myself up for the future. So and she was very understanding of that, very receptive to that. And but of course still like pushes me and challenges me musically, things like that still.
Hmm.
So she and I have a good relationship, I think. So
Yeah.
for me it's
I
been really positive.
yeah, I remember you telling me how much work it is. Like,
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like I was in a 1 unit orchestra class, but that 1 unit was 6 hours a week plus practicing. So it's like that's just so much time.
yeah.
It was just so much time, and then like we had like a couple of concerts throughout the year on Friday nights and stuff like that, and like a couple of them lined up with chem tests. So like I
Oh,
take a chem
wow.
at, so I would get out of orchestra rehearsal at 4, go take a chem test from 5 to 7, and then go back to my dorm, put on a tuxedo, and then go and play a 2-3 hour concert. And
That's
like
crazy.
those days were rough. Those days were rough. Oh my gosh. But
Wow.
I can't fit orchestra this next semester, so we're here.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe they don't give you
I'll
more
take off
credit for
school.
that. Like they should give you like 3 units,
Yeah.
you know?
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know who decided what and why decided how. But yeah.
Yeah. How many like units do you need for the minor?
Oh, it's for mine. It's like 20. It's like
Oh.
nothing. Yeah, yeah. So like I've taken so I have like 10, I already have like 12.
Oh.
Yeah, and then like you just have to take like an intro theory course at some point. But like if you really want to get involved, like you exceed the like things for the minor, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's just been good to like be able to have something else to focus on other than Gen Chem. So
Yeah, definitely. Do you
yeah.
think we're gonna have football in the fall?
No. And if we do, because dude, those rosters are like 100 kids. Like you
It's
have
true.
so many kids out there. Like you have so many like supporting staff. Like there's like just the feasibility of that within the college program. Like the NCAA is just way too greedy. I think to pay for tests for all of the, and yes, that is me calling you out, NCAA. Reaches you because I believe in my man Christian. You don't control me, but yeah. So yeah, NCAA, pulling in billions of dollars a year. Could they pay for it? Probably. Are they? Probably not, because I don't know how much money they can make off of games that people aren't going to. So
Yeah, I do hope we have basketball though, because basketball is the best.
basketball is the only thing I care about.
Did you see we hired
We
we
have
hired an assistant
senior.
coach? I
Yeah,
think it was like
Jason.
I think it was Jason Terry.
Yeah, Jason Terry.
His name was.
He's an old U of A player, and then he played for the Mavs. And what's that guy's name? He owns the Mavs. I'm so sorry, Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
Love Mark Cuban, legend.
Yeah.
But he's like Jason Terry is a great player. He's like has a great attitude. He's gonna be great for the U of A team. I was like, you know what? Mark Cuban says that. Like, I'm sold. Like, we're going. Like, we'll be at Final Four. Like,
Let's go. We'll have Mark Cuban on the show and Jason Terry.
Okay, Mark Cuban. Listen, yeah, we should have Mark Cuban on the show. Agree.
Yeah, I'll have him on before I have our boy Bobby on.
Bob? No, I'm just kidding. Even though he's
Bobby Robbins.
He is by no means perfect, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna head to bed and visit our grand old school tomorrow. I'm staying at the Marriott, like by Main Gate Square.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Don't make you see any protests.
I probably will.
Probably will. I think there's one Wednesday. Leot's gonna be there.
That's great. That's the day I'm gonna be there. Oh, Leot's gonna be there?
Yeah, Leot's probably gonna be at the protests. Yeah.
Cool.
She's like, when you move in, I'm gonna teach you how to make challah. I was like, bro.
Yes.
I was like, teach me the ways.
We have to go back to Chabad on Fridays.
Yeah. Chabad's so much fun. Oh my gosh.
All right. I guess that's a wrap.
It's just gonna cut.